Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of the crudest slurs on the symbol that Hindus hold most revered. Lord Ram, the embodiment of the ideals of Sanatan Dharma, the incarnation of Astha and Maryada. But today, he's being linked to hate, nafrat. In a nation where Sanatan is not a religion but a way of life, the very symbol of civilizational ethos is being insulted by Bihar's education minister. RJD's Chandrashekhar has said that Ramcharitmanas spreads nafrat in the world with its casteist preachings. He is a state mantri who had put his hand on the constitution and took oath of office. The very constitution book which has an illustration of Lord Ram. In fact, when Times Now confronted Chandrashekhar, there was not a single expression of remorse on his face. Watch how he insulted this symbol of Sanatan Dharma and then brazenly justified it. And that too by naming this book, the Ramcharitmanas, that we all hold in high esteem, not just as a religious scripture, but as a way of life. Listen to this Bihar मंत्री.
मनुस्मृति को जलाने का क्यों काम किए? इसलिए कि मनुस्मृति में एक बड़े तबका के खिलाफ 85% लोगों के खिलाफ अनेकों गालियां दी गई। रामचरितमानस का क्यों प्रतिरोध हुआ? किस अंश का प्रतिरोध हुआ? नीच जाति के लोगों को शिक्षा ग्रहण करने का अधिकार नहीं था और उसमें कहा गया है कि नीच जाति के लोग शिक्षा ग्रहण करके जहरीला हो जाते हैं, जैसा कि सांप दूध पीने के बाद होता है। ये जो ग्रंथ हैं नफरत को बोने वाले, एक युग में मनुस्मृति, दूसरे युग में रामचरितमानस, ये दुनिया को हमारे देश को, समाज को नफरत में बांटती है। मैं 100% कायम हूं। संपूर्ण नारी जाति को काट करके जिस ग्रंथ ने रखा है उसके उस छंद का विरोध होना चाहिए। मैं हर समय विरोध में खड़ा हूं। मैं ये कहता हूं कि रामचरितमानस के जो ये छंद हैं उत्तरकांड के, सुंदरकांड के जो ये छंद हैं वो विरोध के लायक है। उसमें अच्छी बातें भी है, लेकिन अच्छी बातें ग्रहण करिए। जो नाजायज बातें हैं, जो बड़े तबके को नफरत से देखता है, भाई ये क्या होगा? आज के तारीख में मुख्यमंत्री जीतनराम मांझी मधुबनी के दुर्गा मंदिर में गए पूजा करने, 6 साल हुआ है भाई। मुख्यमंत्री गए और आपने उसको गंगा जल से धो दिया। किन पाखंडियों ने धोया? यही परमहंस टाइप के लोग धोए होंगे। तो मैं ये कहता हूं, छोड़िए मुख्यमंत्री जी राज के। रामनाथ कोविंद राष्ट्रपति बनकर के गए जगन्नाथपुरी मंदिर में, किसने गर्भगृह में नहीं घुसने दिया? ये चला है संघर्ष। इसलिए 3000 साल पहले मनुस्मृति के जो ये छंद हैं जाति के नाम पर अपमान का, इसका विरोध होना चाहिए। रामचरितमानस में जो ये छंद है उत्तरकांड, सुंदरकांड के, अरण्यकांड के, इसका विरोध होना चाहिए।
And this is not the first time. Even before this, RJD's Jagdanand Singh had insulted Ram Mandir, calling it nafrat ki zameen. Take a look at this.
जब कन से सिमट करके केवल उस पत्थरों की चारदीवारी में राम चले गए, जहाँ नफरत की जमीन पर राम के मंदिर का निर्माण हो रहा है, अब लोगों के, गरीबों के, झोपड़ी वालों के, तुलसी के राम, अयोध्या के राम, सबरी की जूठन बैल खाने वाले राम अब भारत में नहीं, बल्कि पत्थरों के भीतर एक कैद केवल राम रहेंगे, बाकी सब जगह से राम खत्म हो गए। भारत में उन्मादियों के अब राम बचेंगे।
But those insulting Maryada Purushottam Ram often forget that Valmiki, who wrote the Ramayana, said, and I quote, that when Ram ruled, everyone was intent on virtue. Turning their eyes towards Ram alone, creatures did not kill one another. Can the lobby ignore that there's an illustration of Ram, Sita and Lakshman in part 3 of the fundamental rights in the Constitution book? Even our progressive philosopher Swami Vivekananda branded Lord Ram as the embodiment of truth and morality. The father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, too lived by the principles of Ram. The BJP and RJD critics have lashed out at those who use Hindus as a punching bag for a handful of votes. Listen in.
रामचरितमानस के बारे में यह बात कहना, कोई अज्ञानी ही इस बात को इस प्रकार से कह सकता है। उनको ज्ञान सीखने की जरूरत है। ऐसे मंत्री को 1 मिनट भी मंत्री पद पर रहने का अधिकार नहीं, इनको बर्खास्त करना चाहिए।
वही शर्मनाक बयान है इस तरीके का बयान जो लोगों की आस्था से खिलवाड़ करता हो, लोगों की भावना से खिलवाड़ करता हो। कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, ऐसे नेताओं पे जरूर कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। अगर आप कार्रवाई नहीं करेंगे तो आने वाले दिनों में जनता खुद कार्रवाई।
ऐसे लोग जानबूझकर ऐसी टिप्पणियां करके 135 करोड़ भारतीयों के मन में द्वेष फैलाते, ये हास्यास्पद बयान है, दुखद है, कष्टदायक।
Just a few days ago, RJD leader, the Bihar president, Jagdanand Singh made comments about Ram Janmabhoomi being Nafrat ki Zameen. He made comments about Prabhu Shri Ram and Ram Mandir. And now we have Education Minister of Bihar from RJD making very controversial comments and saying Ramcharitmanas was a Nafrat Phailane wala Granth, was a Granth that was spreading hatred. This is not a coincidence, it is a conspiracy.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the legitimate question on the Newshour tonight. Is Lord Ram bashing just okay for vote bank? That's the question, and that's the debate. Sanatan Dharm insulted. That's the hashtag and the debate on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight, Gaurav Bhatia, national spokesperson of the BJP, Karan Verma, author, Rahul Ishwar, activist, will join us in just a bit. Parimal Kumar, spokesperson of the JDU, Suman Kumar Malik, senior leader of the RJD, Abdul Razak Khan, political analyst. But my first question goes to Lokesh Jindal, leader of the Congress party. And Lokesh Jindal, is insulting Ram okay with you? After all, you're part of this larger family which includes the RJD, the JDU, and today a minister actually says what he said about the Ramcharitmanas. Do you actually agree with him?
Not at all. In fact, I'd never support any of the politicians making use of religion as their means to gain any form of political end. So I want a political atmosphere, a scenario where religion is kept for what it is meant for what it is, spirituality. Political parties who misuse religion, try to portray themselves as champions or criticize religion are two sides of the same coin. So I would criticize...
Why are you speaking in third person, Lokesh Jindal? Aren't you part and supporter of that government in Bihar, whatever little numbers?
I would support invocation of Representation of People's Act, bring about disqualification of that particular member. You have enough laws for yourself, but what is the government doing? Why this inactivity? And
do you realize there is a government in Bihar which could also take action, and I don't see anybody in the Congress party really making a hue and cry about this. You don't care, or is power more important?
We are always criticizing. We condemn Dharma Sansad. We condemn practices like glorification of politicization of religion. We condemn such statements of this education minister. So the whole idea is keep religion outside the sphere of politics. That's what we believe in. That's what we want to support.
Gaurav Bhatia, do they really believe in keeping religion out of politics? Because जब कन्वीनियंट होता है तो ये रिलीजन को याद कर लेते हैं. राहुल गांधी, did he not say that these people are non-believers? They will never say Har Har Mahadev. Is that not part of religion? And do they really keep away from religion? Or is this convenient Hinduism that they follow? Because जब मन किया हिंदू हो गए, जब नहीं मन किया तो non-Hindu हो गए.
Navika, it's not the fault of the RJD, JDU or the Congress. These are all Chunavi Hindus and Dhongi Hindus. And I will come to the other statement made by Chandrashekhar, the sitting minister. But just to expose the Congress. Rahul Gandhi himself said, मैं तपस्वी हूँ, पुजारी नहीं हूँ. And all the pujaris and the Hindus were protesting. Now it was the turn of the RJD and the JDU to hurt the sentiments of the Hindu community. And what is shocking and abhorrible, Nitish Kumar, who calls himself Sushasan Babu, now is Chuppi Babu. He can't even utter a word. Rather, when he is asked questions about Students have been lathi charged. He says, कहाँ हुआ मुझे पता नहीं है. Farmers have been lathi charged. कहाँ हुआ मुझे पता ही नहीं है. Kartikeya Singh, your minister, who was to be sworn in, he is, waiting an arrest. There is a warrant against him. मुझे पता ही नहीं है. अच्छा, आज जब कहा कि मंत्री चंद्रशेखर has insulted every Hindu and the rich cultural heritage of our country, तेजस्वी यादव and नीतीश कुमार said, मुझे पता ही नहीं है. अगर इनको कुछ पता ही नहीं है, तो why don't they resign? And the other thing, which is more important, how do we give a befitting response to such Chunavi Hindus? I'll tell you. It is true that Hinduism and Hindus are the most tolerant community in the world. And we will never chant slogans, Sab tan se juda, Gustake Rasool ki ek hi saza. But there are ways. First, the Bharatiya Janata Party has been the first party to demand that such a minister should be sacked immediately. Second, an FIR, it is a state subject under the constitution. Nitish Kumar should ensure there is an FIR registered against Chandrashekhar under section 153A and 295A of the Indian Penal Code for hurting the sentiments of the Hindu community. And third, all the Hindus who are watching your program, I appeal right now, every Indian, in fact, should come together and ensure that this Jungle Raj is decimated and they get 0 seats in any election in India, so that they start respecting the tolerant community, which is the Hindu community.
Well, let me get in Parimal Kumar, spokesperson of the JDU. And Parimal Kumar ji, the question is very simple. Nitish Kumar ji को कुछ पता ही नहीं है. आपने सुना होगा, रामचरितमानस में ही लिखा हुआ है, एक चौपाई है, जाकी रही भावना जैसी, ताको दिखी प्रभु की मूरत वैसी. मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ, इस देश में people follow the Ramcharitmanas not just as a religious scripture, it is also a way of life. Tonight we have to stand up and actually, believe that somebody who has taken an oath of the constitution and is a minister can use such words against Ramcharitmanas, and followers of Lord Ram constitute nearly 80% population in this country out of 135 crore people. I want to ask you, hurting Hindus doesn't really bother you?
First, let me clarify the assent of the party and principle of the party. Janata Dal United under the leadership of Honorable Nitish Kumar have a strong belief in the constitution, secularism of the constitution, and he is the, you can say, the best example of Indian secularism. Okay, he never compromised on the ground of religion. You have seen that when BJP was our partner in NDA in Bihar, BJP tried to implement RSS ideology, but despite of this fact that we were less in number as compared to that of BJP, our Nitish Kumar, our leader, never compromised on this ground. Okay. As far as the question of religion is concerned, so you also should see the verdict of the Supreme Court in Bombay case in 1994. The Supreme Court clearly stated that religion should be separated from the politics. Okay, though we have our constitution have quite different approach of secularism as compared to that of Western secularism, and Indian secularism is based on Sarvdham Sabhav. To Janata Dal United under the leadership of Honorable Nitish Kumar have deep faith in the secular character of the country. We have deep faith and honor for every.
I understand that, but have you taken any action against Mr. Chandrashekhar, the minister? After all, he has not shown any. He has not shown any respect to the Ramcharitamanas.
Let me complete my statement.
But you're repeating yourself, sir.
No, I'm not favoring the statement of Education Minister. But you should know, under Article 25, right to religion, religious freedom is the personal word. It is not a subject of public manifestation, as the BJP and its senior leader periodically manifest this activity. One question I am raising before, actually,
what are you saying?
We have deep faith in Ramayana, we have deep faith in Quran, we have deep faith in Guru Granth Sahib. But at the same time, I want to raise a question. Narendra Modi, as a Prime Minister, conducted Bhumi Pujan in Ajodhya. We have particular deep faith in, actually, you know that we respect all religion.
No, if you respect, then what is the action Nitish Kumar Babu has taken against his minister? What is the action? I'm sorry, the Hindu Dharma was insulted tonight.
It was against the philosophy of the oath and affirmation is taken as the Prime Minister of India. So they are violating the secular norms of the country. We have deep belief in the secular character of the
Gaurav Bhatia, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, respond to Parimal. Respond to Parimal Kumar ji.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Gaurav Bhatia is responding to you. Yes, Mr.
Parimal
Bhatia.
ji, you just... Yes.
Yes.
Parimal ji, you just cited the example of respected Prime Minister saying he performed Bhumi Pujan at Ayodhya.
I want to raise one question. You see, you first you give the answer.
Let him.
No.
Parimal ji, you've asked a question. You've asked a question. Allow Mr. Bhatia to answer that question before I allow you to say anything. I'm requesting you allow Mr. Bhatia to answer. After that, you can rebut. Yes.
Bhatia, let me raise a question, and I want to know one question from your side. Whether BJP has faith in the secularism of the country?
Answer.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Whether BJP has the faith?
Yes, he's answering, Mr. Parimal. Mr. Parimal Kumar, I'll have to lower your fader. He's answering your question. Please don't repeat yourself. Gaurav Bhatia ji, respond.
Yes, thank you. Navika, see, with the question that he asked and a remark that he made, he stands exposed, and I'll tell you why. He has probably not understood the constitution of our country, because for them, it's a selective document. If it suits them, they abide by it, otherwise they don't. Because he was questioning the conduct of the Prime Minister because he performed Bhumi Pujan at Ayodhya. I want to ask, Nitish Kumar as Chief Minister hosting iftar party out of state funds, is that secularism? At least a Prime Minister has all the right under the Constitution to abide by the religion he professes and propagates, as long as there is no conflict of duty and he is serving the people of every religion well, with Narendra Modi ji is doing. Second, you asked me about secularism. Yes, our secularism is ensuring rights for Shaira Bano, not snatching rights of Shah Bano. Have you read about that case? Second, our secularism is to treat the Hajj pilgrimage people at par with the Kumbh Mela pilgrimage persons. That is the difference. And not like you giving Hajj subsidy to one community and ignoring the majority community. And in the end, I would say, Navika, two things are proved. RJD, JDU are anti-Hindu, and second, they believe in caste politics, and that is why they are inciting divisiveness. Why? Because you remember Lalu Prasad Yadav's comment when he said, Bhura Bal hatana hai. Bhura Bal was for Bhumihar, Rajput, Brahman and Lala, the upper caste. Though Bharatiya Janata Party believes that every citizen is equal and they are back to their dirty politics.
Well, let me also get in Suman Kumar Malik, senior leader of the RJD. Suman Kumar Malik जी, क्या राम के बारे में ये कहकर आरजेडी की शोभा कुछ बढ़ गई है और किसी ने भी कुछ टिप्पणी नहीं कही? क्या राम आपके लिए राम नहीं है? क्या इस देश में आपको पता नहीं है राम की आस्था क्या है? और हमारी आस्था एक तरफ, लेकिन आप विवेकानंद को याद करिए, आप गांधी जी को याद करिए, सबने राम को क्या दर्जा दिया था और आज आपके मंत्री क्या कह रहे हैं? और कोई टिप्पणी नहीं, कोई एक्शन नहीं, कुछ नहीं, सब कुछ पहले जैसा है। ये कैसे होता है इस देश में?
नाविका जी, मैं सबसे पहले मैं आपको ये बतला दूं कि रामायण हो, रामचरितमानस हो, ये जो धर्म ग्रंथ हैं, ये हमारे हम हिंदुओं का, हम हिंदुस्तानियों का जीवन जीने का एक आधार है। और ये इतना बड़ा आधार है कि हजारों बरस से जो हमारा समाज है इसको अपनाने का चेष्टा करता है, अपनाता है। और ये हमारा जीवन जीने का एक ऐसा मूल मंत्र है
चंद्रशेखर जी हिंदुस्तान में नहीं रहते क्या?
क्यों नहीं बताते?
चंद्रशेखर जी हिंदुस्तान में नहीं रहते क्या? भारतीय नहीं है क्या?
पार्टी का हिस्सा नहीं लग रहा है।
मैं आपको बतलाता हूँ, मेरे पार्टी के स्तर पर भी आज इस तरह का बयान आ चुका है कि ये चंद्रशेखर जी का व्यक्तिगत बयान है।
ये व्यक्तिगत कैसे हो सकता है? वो मंत्री है ना, मंत्री क्या व्यक्तिगत होता है? व्यक्तिगत मंत्री होता है राहुल ईश्वर कैन देयर बी एनीथिंग पर्सनल इन अ कमेंट मेड बाय अ मंत्री? Because first time he makes a statement, a second time our reporter goes and asks again, and he says, I believe in what I say and I stand by it.
Navika ji, just two submissions. Beyond any politics, BJP or any other politics, this is a fit case for 153 and 295. This is spreading hatred, this is spreading divisiveness in the society, and action should be taken. This is a fit case for legal action. If somebody is not feeling so, I'll only ask them one question. I have immense respect for Holy Quran and Sacred Bible. Had somebody said the same about Holy Quran, had somebody said the same about Sacred Bible, had somebody said the same about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or about Holy Jesus Christ, what would have been the reaction? They would have cried secularism is in danger. They would have cried Hindutva fascism is ruling the country. So Sri Ram can be easily insulted. Sri Ram is a free for all. Sri Krishna can be insulted. Ramcharitmanas can be insulted. Ramayana can be insulted. Sita Mata can be insulted. Nobody has any problem. This kind of pseudo-secularist attitude is a curse of India, and we need to expose it beyond politics. This is playing to the gallery. This is playing to the pseudo-liberal, pseudo-secular, pseudo-progressive gallery, and it should be exposed. Not only it should be exposed, this is a fit case because he has crossed the line. He has crossed the Lakshmana Rekha, and he has gone to the extent of abusing, insulting, vilifying, demeaning, demonizing Sri Ramcharitamanas and Sri Ram. So the action should be taken against him. Political party disciplinary action and legal action should be taken, because the same courtesy we should extend to every religion, because that is Mahatma Gandhi's pluralism, and Mahatma Gandhi wanted India to be Rama Rajya. Mahatma Gandhi considered Sri Ram to be the greatest Maryada Purushottam. Allahumma Muhammad Iqbal called him Imam-e-Hind. Sri Ram is one of the most celebrated icons in the largest Muslim majority Indonesia and the largest Hindu majority India. Sri Ram is a great legacy of the entire Asia. So they can easily demean, because their imaginary so-called pseudo-secular vote bank will become happy, is appeasement, is demonizing Hindus, and is making Hindus a punching bag so that they can create some punches and be happy about it.
Well, let me get in Abdul Razak Khan. Abdul Razak Khan, we've seen in this country what has happened, and you know, I'm not passing a judgment, but the fact is that anybody who says anything about any other religion, there is a hue and cry. And Nupur Sharma is a case in example. Tonight I want to ask you, no religion can be insulted. But can Hinduism, can Lord Ram be insulted, and it is a free for all when it comes to Hindus? It's a question I want to ask you.
Absolutely not. Every religion should be respected. Islam says respect other religions. I respect each and every religion of this country. Now, first of all, Navika ji, right from the time Goswami Tulsidasa's Ramcharitamanas, the time he wrote, there have been controversies and criticism about this right from the time he wrote it. You know, the Sanskrit Brahmins of Ayodhya questioned him as to why did he write it in Awadhi? Why did he not prefer Sanskrit? And then on there have been criticism about the book because there are derogatory comments about women. There is one Pandit, Vinay Shankar Dubey, who is a retired IAS officer, also happens to be the Vice Chancellor of Nalanda University in Patna. He has done a research for over 50 years, and he comes out and says there are 27 controversial lines, and these lines are out of context. And there are 8 lines which are derogatory. There are discriminatory. So I'm saying that there are criticism, there is criticism, because...
Can I respond to it?
Abdul Razak sir, wo academic criticism kar rahe the kya?
All right, hands are going up. Hands are going up on the panel.
Sir, the book speaks about social discrimination.
Rizvi said the same thing about the Quran, my friend, and you know what you did to Wasim Rizvi. Am I wrong, Gaurav Bhatia?
No.
Navika, that is exactly
he went
the point
out of the religion on his own.
How convenient it is. Okay, can you be quiet now? respect other people's opinion as well. What is the argument that he made? He made the argument.
Sir, I am sitting in Bangalore, not in the studio. There is a time lag.
Holy book. Okay, fine. Fine, Abdul. Fine. So now I want to ask Abdul, there is a section of people in India, very rightly so, who criticize the Holy Quran also because they say that the Holy Quran talks about idolaters to be eliminated. Holy Quran talks about actually wedding 4 wives, having 4 wives. Now I want to ask you, being a devout Muslim, would you be okay if, say, your spouse says that he wants to live with 4 husbands? Would you be fine? So we can criticize your holy book. The logic is this: if it is revered by 20 million of our people, 200 million in fact, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. So then we need to respect the book. And that principle, if you apply to your holy book, you should also have the magnanimity to apply the same principle to other religious texts.
Sir,
you cannot come here and start
do not respect the book.
when it comes about the Hindu religious text and have different standard for your religious book. And Navika to end. He is the same person who justified the beheading of Kamlesh Tiwari on Times Now. So this is the person who I am discussing this issue with. He justified the beheading of Kamlesh Tiwari.
About the Holy Quran. He does not know the ABCD of the Holy Quran. Now every time there is an answer and you are cornered.
No, do you justify? Okay, tell me, having 4 wives is fine. Constitution doesn't permit that.
भाई अगर आप कह रहे हैं अब्दुल रज़ाक खान साहब, allow I'll add to the question Gaurav Bhatia is raising. Let me ask you, ये जो तलाक है, many people are against this. So when it was removed, why were you up in arms? Why were you saying this is our personal law and nobody should get into this? It is our own religion. This is our own faith. Why were you up in arms? The question is, people may have their opinion, but the followers cannot be hurt. They cannot be hurt. You can't say that this book sitting here which is followed by 100 plus crore people in this country is a book that spreads hate.
Freedom of religion in Constitution.
Yes.
But the BJP wanted to take some brownie points and for their cheap and petty politics, they came up with triple talaq. Even today, that is actually...
Your personal religion cannot come in the way of fundamental rights. But Karan Verma, let me get Karan Verma in. Karan Verma.
Navika ji, even today husbands are jailed for 2 years. Those women are struggling on the road. It is injustice towards Muslim women. This was not considered when framing the triple talaq law. We are shouting even today. We have questioned.
Halala bhi sahi hai, triple talaq bhi sahi hai, 4 बीवियां भी सही हैं, वो सब आपके मुताबिक होना चाहिए. उस पे टीका टिप्पणी आपको पसंद नहीं है, लेकिन रामचरितमानस पर आप कुछ भी कहेंगे. रामचरितमानस can be called a book that spreads hate. That freedom you want because it is a secular state. Let me get in Karan Verma. Karan Verma, my question is, 1 minute, Abdul Razak Khan, you'll have to calm down. There are other people on the panel and they also deserve a chance to speak. Karan Verma, my question is, we have to respect every religious text. We respect the Quran, we respect the Bible, we respect the Guru Granth Sahib, we respect the Bhagavad Gita, the Ramcharitmanas. The question is, when it comes to any text, religious text of the Hindus, why does it become open to debate, discussion, comments, all sorts of observations? Is it because Hindus will not react? Hindus do not react, so you can say anything to them, chanta lagao or nikal jao. But you cannot say anything about any other. Is that what secularism really teaches us?
You know, the JDU spokesperson here spoke and gave us lectures about secularism. Secularism for him is Hindu bashing. That is what secularism is. And now, Navika ji, please give me an uninterrupted minute, because I want to rebut Abdul, and I also want to school this uneducated education minister of Bihar. I don't want this to go unchecked, because I am getting this on Twitter also. I want to explain this chaupai of Ramcharitmanas, because I happen to have read this. It is after the 105th shlok of Uttarkand, and it is a conversation between Kak Busandi and Garudji, where Kak Busandi says, in my previous life, I had disrespected my guru, which is why I was cursed by Lord Shiva. And that is why a person like me, after getting educated, became like a snake. और अपने को वो कहता है अधम. इसको बिहार के एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर ने मिसकोट करके कहा कि ये निचली जाति पे एक प्रहार है. Can you imagine how notoriously he has done it? And Abdul here on your panel is saying there are verses which are controversial. There is nothing controversial in this. It is just that you want to interpolate this and you want to insult the Hindus. A few days ago, you had said Ram Janmabhoomi nafrat ki zameen hai. The fact of the matter is Ram sabke hain. Jatayu ke bhi Ram hai, Kevat ke bhi Ram hai, Shabri ke bhi Ram hai. इसलिए राम इस देश की आत्मा का एक प्रतिबिंब है. राम चाहे वो मुस्लिम हो, वो उन्हें इमामे हिंद मानते हैं. बिना पढ़े कृपया रामचरितमानस के टेक्स्ट को मिस इंटरप्रेट और इंटरपोलेट ना करें. और अगर आप कर रहे हैं, यू आर लायबल अंडर सेक्शन 153 एंड 295. यू हैव नो बिजनेस मिसकोटिंग टेक्स्ट एंड ब्रिंगिंग देम इन रॉन्ग.
Lokesh Jindal, is the Congress silent on this only because आपके लिए तो Ram has always been a mythological character? So today you don't feel the pain.
We don't want only projection of symbolism of Ram, but we want the values of Ram to be imbibed in everybody's life. We want Ram who went, who ate jhuthe bear of Shabri, who did not discriminate on the basis of caste, who lived a simple life, whose Ram Rajya meant equality for all. So these values are something which Congress holds for, Congress stands for. So we do not want just a symbolic representation of Ram simply confining himself to idols and temples and restricting...
Or Sethus.
Congress believes that...
Or the Ram Setu.
In a person's...
Rahul Ishwar.
Tall arguments can never replace substantial arguments.
Yes. Rahul Ishwar.
Those who say just one line, sugar-coated arguments and flattery can never replace substantial arguments. Had Mahatma Gandhi been alive, he would have been pained by it. Mahatma Gandhi was the president of Congress too, our father of the nation. Mahatma Gandhi would have been pained, and Mahatma Gandhi believed in Ram, and even the last words were "Hey Ram."
Please explain.
So how can we simply sugar-coat and not condemn it? Please have the courage to condemn it. Please have the courage to condemn it. Say that it is wrong. Say that it is
Exactly. You nailed it, Rahul Ishwar. Nobody has condemned it. Not the Congress, not the RJD, not the JDU. And that is why I come back to Parimal Kumarji. And Parimal Kumarji, my question is simple. Do you condemn the statement by Chandrashekhar ji? Yes or no?
Clearly, on public domain, such type of utterances we are not supporting. But as far as the question of public policy is concerned and governance of Honorable Nitish Kumar is concerned, he always take secularism as the utmost principle of the governance.
What do you mean? What do you mean by this statement? Publicly we do not say, but privately we can say. Gaurav Bhatia, Parimal Kumar shows the double-facedness of the JDU. He says publicly we do not support this, but in private you can say all this about the Ramcharitmanas. Is that an acceptable explanation, Gaurav Bhatia? He's exposed himself on the Newshour tonight, and the JDU has exposed itself.
Actually,
the thought is very clear. Gaurav Bhatia, last word to you.
The leadership of Nitish Kumar are against mixing politics with the religion.
Navika, I congratulate you for exposing the ugly face of the RJD and the JDU, that from within they want to intentionally hurt the sentiments of the Hindu community because it suits their politics. And that is why I say that they would be also given a very befitting reply during the elections. But I must answer the Congress spokesperson. Values of Rama. Lord Rama's value have taught the Congress party to take away the right of Shah Bano, rupees 60 stipend. It has taught that Yasin Malik, who killed 4 of our Indian Air Force officers, should be brought to the Prime Minister house. It teaches that 84 rights should be justified by saying when a big tree falls, the earth shakes. Lord Rama's values has taught you that you start talking about Muslims having the first right to the resources of the country. Shame on you. And that is why the Hindus know that you treated them like second-rate citizens and they are not ready for it. They have full faith in Narendra Modi ji.
Well, while I believe that every religion must be and should be respected by each one of us because we need to be sensitive to everybody's faith. But one thing is very clear. Has bashing Hindus become a favorite pastime of political parties? And is it just the short-sightedness of a vote bank politics that forces them to do that? And do they not worry about 80% of the population in this country? It's a question that they need to think about. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you to my panelists for joining me on Debate